everyone, welcome to RDLP. I'm your host, the Prince of Play, Solon Scott, and with me today, I'm very happy to introduce the Professor of Chugonomics, Austin C. Howe. And today, I've got a fantastic game for you. I've got I Am Setsuna, brand new, just came out, and we are so stoked. We are very excited, and I've brought Austin along with me because this is his field of expertise. As much as I have had many JRPGs on my channel, and I think almost every time we go through this, whether it's Final Fantasy X2, Final Fantasy 14, there's a couple other JRPGs on my channel, I always bring some along with me, because, you know, you need a travel companion for these kinds of larger scope epic things, and there is nobody better than Austin, who has done a lot of work analyzing JRPGs. Where have you been published in a couple places, right?
I have the most prominent of my work on JRPGs is probably I wrote for The Ontological Geek. I wrote some deconstructions of Final Fantasy VIII, talking about how mental illness and gender roles are portrayed in Final Fantasy VIII and how they are interestingly investigated and sometimes deconstructed.
Yep.
I also wrote an article about Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter for Zeal called The Powerless Fantasy, which investigates how Dragon Quarter uses ludic structures to apply the pressures of poverty to players.
I'm so glad you're repping Dragon Quarter.
Yeah.
Someone's got it out there.
And
you also gave a talk at GQCon.
I also gave a talk
the Queer Games Convention.
I also gave a talk at QGCon, which I also gave it at the what was that? The Game Studies Conference.
Oh, you spoke at Oregon University.
OGSC, yeah, the Oregon Game Studies Conference.
Yeah, at Oregon University, you did a lecture there.
I did that talk as well, which was a deconstruction of was talking about the how Final Fantasy 7 and 8 in particular deconstruct traditional masculinity from the Western, or rather, what we in the West would perceive as traditional masculinity. I couldn't possibly speak for how the Japanese experience, of course, but basically the ways that Final Fantasy 7 and 8 deconstruct the idea of masculine heroism. And how those kinds of characters relate to femininity, and how those characters relate to themselves, and how and very specifically how masculinity in that type of sense what's the word, makes worse.
Yeah, it just makes it worse.
Makes in particular mental illness much worse, because I think Cloud displays very clear symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder and squall.
Okay, so we don't need to get deep into the work parts, because that's what they can read in the links.
I also wrote a book about Final Fantasy 7.
I know.
And it's coming.
Let's talk about I Am Setsuna. Where we are starting here is pretty much in a very similar place where Final Fantasy X starts. From everything that I know, you are Setsuna. That's why it is called I Am Setsuna. And so identity and who you are is going to be very important, but it is Setsuna and the dude, who I don't know who the dude is.
Well,
but
we have a setup that's fairly similar to Final Fantasy X in that, from what I've read about the plot, we're both completely virgin to this game here, we have a girl named Setsuna who is to be a ritual sacrifice in this land of snow and all that sort of thing. So, and we have our one of our other player characters whose name I don't even know, and his role is to
the boy,
and his role is to protect her on the way to this ritual sacrifice. So we have something that is structurally very similar to Final Fantasy X, but instead of taking place in Southeast Asia, it takes place in like Norway.
Also, the big difference, that the reason that I'm excited for I Am Setsuna is that Final Fantasy X, I recently played for the first time and loved it.
I also replayed it and found my love for it.
The game starts saying, I am Titus, this is my story. And so this one starts out with the title that says, I Am Setsuna. So we have a complete gender reversal on whose story is being told here. And that's what I want to jump into right now.
And we also have, well, more specifically, we also have the assertion of self.
Yep.
By a character who is presented as
a woman,
fulfilling, a woman, but also a character who's presented as playing a very specific role. This game is developed by Tokyo RPG Factory, and who are a group of developers founded by Square and funded by Square. And the interesting thing about that is the way in which even just the title of this game relates to the performativity of certain kinds of roles in particular the Final Fantasy games, and in a lot of their stuff from the mid to late 90s, because performativity and role playing playing roles was very central to a lot of their stories in that period of time. Not to mention, we have the promise, if nothing else, we have the promise of a battle system which plays very similarly to like a Chrono Trigger.
Oh my god, you're so excited for this Chrono Trigger system. I'm very hyped.
He told me that this was coming out yesterday, and I literally exploded. I begged him to buy it.
He's like, please put me in the game, coach. Please put me in the game. All right, let's get in the game. Let's go.
I'm very excited.
Let's go. Hit the options button.
Whoa.
Hit the options button, and let's dive in.
Hope they're enjoying this lovely menu music. Very beautiful piano soundtrack.
So wonderful, so wonderful. Let's go. Let's wreck it. Come on. New game.
Cute menu sounds. You want to turn on in-game voices? For now, yes. If they turn out to be insufferable, we'll turn them off later. I like the idea that it asks, though, because it is a game that is meant to be in the vein of a old school RPG, and in most of those games you didn't have voice acting.
Oh, we're in it. We've drawn the sword. We are summoned in the snow. Is this Setsuna? Can I be Setsuna yet?
No, we're the dude.
Oh, dude. I am Hapsper. I will be working with you on a mission. Hey, Hapsper. Thank you.
Are you reading all the dialogue?
Well, I want to get us in the groove, right? Do you want to change Endir's name? I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. I respect your choice. I would have loved to name him Poops McGee, but I respect your choice. Okay.
I'll try to. I'm sorry. I have a very fast natural reading speed.
No, let me take care of this. I've got you for this. Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna rescue the girl. Our jobs are exterminate monsters along the way. Let's go. Once we're done, return the girl to the client. Wow, that's kind of a weird transaction. I'm into it. If she is still alive, so we don't actually have to be any good at our escort quest. Ooh, look at our boy.
We already have. Okay, here's the thing. I can guarantee you that mechanically this is meaningless. This is a Square tradition from the mid and late 90s that is very strong, and I love it because the thing about it is that we have a question that's being asked of our main character, which I assure you is probably mechanically pointless, but it is meant to allow the player inside the mind of the character to try and empathize with the character. It's not meant to ask, how do you feel about this situation? It's meant to ask, how do you think this character feels about this situation?
Okay. So this is how you get into the game, right? With our little claw boy with the ponytail. Look at this, like, he's got Pokemon claws on his head.
I'm going to assume that this person is, like, empathetic, so.
You don't mess around. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm Hapsper, god dang it. Oh, he's not even gonna help us with combat.
I assume this guy's like our tutorial dude.
He's gonna just watch. He likes to watch the slaughter happen.
I love how this looks and how this sounds.
Look at the snow tracks. Look at those snow tracks. Oh, that's cool.
The presentation of this is very analogous to Chrono Trigger in terms of like... how
there's monsters on the field.
Monsters on the field, but also like the camera angle and that sort of thing. I'm assuming what we're going to see is... the
puny foe.
I always
so you can strike first. If you approach monsters from the front, you get one ending, but if you approach them from the back, you get... special
if you basically
stuff.
You get an advantage. Okay.
So it's not like you have to press a button to attack or anything. It's just get behind them.
Oh, this is the basics of ATB, which of course anybody who has taste should be familiar with.
Come on. Hey now. give me a second. This is the whole core mechanic right here. When more than one character has a full ATB gauge, you can act with that character. Or you can choose between them. So we
pass turns, etc., etc.
Wait until the bar fills up, you do your turn. You do your attack.
And given that this is very inspired by Chrono Trigger, we'll have, when two characters can act together, we'll be able to do double text and that sort of thing.
Cool. Oh, that's where the voices come in. Okay.
The default battle speed here is quite high. I wonder if we can set it any higher.
You gotta crank that. Okay, cool. I like the pengu slaps you up. Slapping you up!
We have the creatures moving around. We have the creatures moving around the battlefield, and that's going to be another character.
Yep.
Lovely victory theme, and we have a
majestic.
They have them moving around, which is also a mechanic very specific to Chrono Trigger, because sometimes that would affect how you're like.
Holy crap! Attacks. Wait! Stand here for a second. Watch this. That snow's going to fade away. Because it happened with the penguin. Or maybe it was when the penguin despawned. No. There goes the track prints are gone. They're gone.
That's very nice.
It's really cool.
Any game that is this dedicated to snow, I'm impressed with. And the thing that's impressive, of course, is that it's just the snow itself is just a layer on the screen.
Yeah, you're just looking at the layer, and then the layer just just dematerialized into the previous...
there's no material interaction between that layer of, like, graphic and, like, what's happening in the 3D stuff on the screen.
Literally what's happening here is that your character leaves, like, a Photoshop brush behind them, and then that Photoshop brush just goes away. God, that's cool. It's so freaking smart. You've received the Cyclone. Okay, so you've got a Sprite Knight. Sprite Knights are stones that are imbued with magical energy. Equipping them allows your characters to obtain a wide range of powers. 2 types of Sprite Knight: Command Sprite Knight and Support Sprite Knight. Okay.
So I assume it gives you either, like, battle techs or passive abilities, like health regeneration or something along those lines.
That's what I was guessing too. You know, I could have read, but you don't need reading. No, I'm just teasing you. I'm just teasing. Cool. So what Sprite Knight did they give you?
Since it's Cyclone, I assume that it causes physical damage to all enemies near the user. But see, here's the thing.
Can you
If
move?
I just wait for a second, I'll bet these enemies will group together and I'll hit both of them.
Oh. Can you move yourself?
No.
Oh, they're slapping you. They're giving you that penguin slap. There it is. Oh, you move to them? Ooh.
Well, there's that, but it's also a matter of, let's say if they stay there. It's a matter of them being close enough to you.
Exact kill. I don't know what that means, but it was exciting.
That feel when exact kill, repepe, etc.
That exact kill. Nice job. Tutorial Man's proud of you. He's not gonna help a damn bit, but he sure is happy.
I love this save point already.
What's the glowing green of light? What's the glowing green of light, Austin? Tell me. Oh, you can also just say nothing, be that like stoic masculine dude.
See, okay, I'm already concerned though because this guy isn't talking.
Sense the presence of monsters further inside the woods, all the more reason for us to hurry on. Oh, Hapspur just wants you to leave it alone. He doesn't even want you around this thing.
Well, that's a save point.
Cool.
Yeah, let's not do more reading than we need to.
I bet 15 hours into this, we're gonna get the surprise that save points were some kind of gimmick block that like totally changes your identity and atmosphere. They're gonna throw in some kind of curveball. That happened in Chrono Cross, right? No.
Save blocks?
It's like save points or something was some kind of trap, or they like explain saving in some way. Maybe that wasn't Chrono Cross. Ooh, that's not a penguin. The other guys we're fighting were basically harmless, and we're kind of assholes that just run in and destroy them. Ooh, momentum mode. So when a character's ATB gauge is full, but you haven't selected command, the round SP gauge to the right will start to fill up. It will also be filled when your characters perform actions or take damage. So once your momentum meter is filled, that little snowflake looking thing.
So it's a limit gauge.
It's like a limit gauge. It's like, yeah, cool.
Press the square button. Okay, cool.
It sounds like you can also fill it just by not doing anything. If you just stay still, you know? Okay, so here's all the effects that you can do. Special bonuses that sometimes affect your whole party will sometimes occur randomly, known as singularity. Various different bonuses, and one that occurs is chosen randomly. The more you use the momentum mode, the greater the chance of singularity occurring. During longer battles, make sure to use momentum mode as much as possible. Oh, so your momentum mode can have momentum.
Positive feedback loops. Also, we have a soundtrack that is primarily composed of, like...
keys. Just piano. Yeah, you're listening to that, right? Like, it's all piano in your head. That's kind of a very big difference from your JRPGs of yore.
Reminds me of an idea I had for a game where I wanted to have all of the soundtrack be solo guitar music. There's some other layers to it, but...
This is your T-Sip, and this is your fancy JRPG, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's cool looking. Look at this!
Really
look at this big old rock hand bear just wandering around. He's like, I'm gonna wamble over here now. Okay, your momentum meter's up. Let's see what you get. Ooh! Oh, or you can just get dead right now. Oh, that's not good.
I'm pressing square like it said to do.
No, you're dead now.
Huh.
Oh.
Okay, that's weird.
Ender's been ended.
And
yeah, delete that save data. Let's see how that one goes. Cool. Okay, we'll load back in.
We're gonna have to read that tutorial a little more closely because it literally just said, wait for it to fill up and then press square.
That's what I thought too, but maybe that's not the case. Woo. So this must be whoever pulverized this poor chick on the ground. So momentum mode, 1 SP point will appear at the top.
Right, so that's the little points on the thing. When a character has at least 1 SP, you can choose to trigger momentum mode to add various... Oh, so we choose to attack and then press square, I think.
Okay.
That's a little weird.
A light will appear above them, it says.
Huh, okay.
We'll figure this one out. He's like, have fun, Ender.
I do like that there's a semi-difficult boss fight like happening right now.
Yep. Attack it up. Beat him up.
Okay, that didn't work either.
Yeah, I don't think that was the right one. But you should probably beat this guy up instead. Try hitting attack. Okay, you're full.
Pressing square is not doing anything there either. Oh, there we go.
Ah, it added physical damage to the attack. Okay. Where's he going? Okay. It's so funny that they just like walk away and then turn around and be like, actually, I'm gonna chomp you right now. Woo! Nice job. You got some high-grade honey from that big old bear. None of that cheap like store brand honey. It's that high-grade honey. Right.